My Own Educational Value System by Khayl Pendon. In the next slide, it will be explained the different values, Filipino values, the strengths, the weaknesses, and the roots of the said values. In this slide, we can see three different columns and 8 rows. So the first column is the strength, the second column is the weaknesses, and the third is roots of behavior. So we will discuss the strength, weakness, and roots of behavior of these said values. So let's go to the first one, which is generosity. Filipinos are known for being generous, even if they don't know the person who's in need. They will help as long as they can, for they believe that if you help, there are a lot more blessings will come from above in exchange. So the next one is the weakness, which is selflessness. This attitude of Filipinos is sometimes becomes toxic. As what I have said, we are known for being generous, but some people overuse us for being one. For example, the OFWs, who's working for their families left in the Philippines. They work 24/7, and some of them, unfortunately, were abused. But their families see them as banks, that they will only remember them in times of problems and in need. But if not, it seems like they don't know their OFW loved ones. The saying, isusubo mo na nga, ibibigay mo pa sa kanila, is very much tagged to them nowadays. And the root of this behavior is the utang na loob. Because we tend to be in debt to someone who done good things to us, and if we cannot give it back to them, we resort on helping others so that we can feel the satisfaction that we need. So let's move on to the second row, which is hard work. We are known for being hardworking, that if we can be awake for 24/7 to do our tasks, works, and etc., we can be one. This attitude is very common to our parents, who works hard in order to satisfy the needs of the family. Can be also to those people working in business industry, that they will do all approaches and tactics in order to maintain their company and position. So let's move to the weakness, which is the sore losers. Many times, Filipinos being hardworking people may become very competitive, and sometimes they can accept defeat. When time comes that losses arises, we find ways to get even in order to satisfy our stepped ego. We become driven by our emotions, blinded by the emotions that we felt. And the root of this behavior is economic environment. These traits are rooted in the poverty and hard life that is the lot of most of us. Burdens and problems pushes us to strive hard and keep motivated amidst all odds for us to keep on track of life. So the third row, which is optimism in the column strength, means we Filipinos is very optimistic that even in darkest times we can always think positively that we can surpass it. We always hope success even if it is just 1% rate only. Expects good things will happen after all the turndowns of life. Just like the lyrics of the song It's Gonna Make Sense by Michael Learns to Rock. Every choice you make when you're lost, every step you take has its cause. After you clear your eyes, you'll see the light somewhere in the darkness. After the rain has gone, you'll feel the sun come and through it seems your sorrow never ends. Someday it's gonna make sense. And the weakness of this value is chambalang attitude, which means simplicity by declaring that his or her accomplishments are results of luck and not from perseverance and ability. We sometimes rely on suerte or chamba that all things will go on how we foresee it. Like for example, Filipinos are so into gambling. They think that in this way, their money will double without a sweat, and luck is on their side always. So without deliberate and careful planning, they engage with this activity, leaving them in debt or shortage of money. And the root of this behavior is bahala na attitude. When helpless, we tend not to act to solve our problems or not be eaten by our problems. We usually go with the flow and wait what's gonna happen next. We let destiny dictates the future for us. So let's move on to the fourth row. The strength is competitive. Filipinos are very competitive. Their drive to win or lead is very strong. They want to be kept on track and surpass all the hindrances in life. They want to be able to compete successfully. Though the weakness of this attitude is crab mentality. Filipinos sometimes get jealous of other people's success that they find a way to pull other person down rather than striving to be better. This attitude is very rampant in social media or virtual world. If someone affirmed their achievements on media, others will say negative comments to pull down one's confidence or destroy their positive outlook in life. And the root of this behavior is envy. Many people are insecure of others' achievements because they see themselves as weak one or the lack of self-confidence towards themselves. So their defense mechanism is to destroy others to feed their bruised ego because they can't accept that others can accomplish and have achievements while them stays on the same spot. So let's go to the fifth row, which the strength is faith. We may have different religions in different sectors of our country, but what is consistent is that we all have one strong form of faith. We put Him in the center of everything, and we obey the teaching taught by His disciples and His words. Though the weakness of this attitude is hypocrisy. It is the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. The best example for this is the lyrics from the song Banal na Aso, Santong Kabayo, and the lyrics goes this way. Kaharap ko sa jeep ang isang ali, nagro-rosaryo, mata niya'y nakapikit, pumara sa may kumbento. Sa babaan lang po, sabi ng tsuper, kasi may nanghuhuli. Mura pa rin ng mura ang ali. It shows that the woman who holds the rosary portrays faith, though her action, which is saying vulgar words, opposes her displayed character. And the root of this behavior is social environment. Social environment. The main components of social structures and social system, such as interpersonal, religious, and community interaction. The social environment of the Filipino is characterized by a feudal structure with great gaps between the rich minority and the poor majority. So let's move on to the sixth row, with the strength attitude is helpfulness. So it is expected that we help out in the house and offer help to siblings, friends, and relatives when we can. We have the Bayanihan spirit in us, and it is why in times of calamities or disaster, we are mostly helpful to one another. This attitude was showcased when the Filipinos opened the community pantry during the crisis that we're facing, which is the COVID-19. Though the weakness of this attitude is short-sighted, it is not thinking enough about how an action will affect the future. It's like giving all you have today and neglecting what's gonna happen for tomorrow. How are you going to move forward and give to others if there's nothing left for you? It's okay to be selfish sometimes and choose yourself first so that you can help others in the future. And the root of this behavior is fear. We are afraid that people will left us behind if we will not help them. Coward, for the swordless but painful words that may taint our fragile hearts that may come from their mouths. And let's go to the seventh row with the attitude strength, which is courtesy. From the mano to saying po and opo to our elders, acknowledging high-ranked people as mom and sir, these words that are part of our language show how we respect people. And the weakness of this attitude is sense of inferiority. Common people or commoner may feel inferior to those higher than them. They may lose self-esteem and confidence because of too much respect to those people, that they forget that they are still humans. And the root of this behavior is hiya or shame. It refers to a painful emotion of being disgraced or losing one's face. The Filipino is shame-oriented. That is, one's major concern is social approval, acceptance by the group, and belonging to the group. So let's move to the last row, which is the eighth row. The strength is close family ties. We enjoy the feeling of having and knowing family members are around us, from cousins, aunts, uncles, and grandparents. Some families share their homes, celebrate holidays, and lend a hand to relatives in times of need. Though the weakness of this attitude is particularism. This refers to the Filipino attitude wherein he prefers to be loyal to a particular group or center his concerns on a particular group. It gives rise to tayo-tayo system which circulates among the family circle only. Sometimes this attitude gives criticism and not equal rights to other people because you give attention first to your family members than to those who not. And the root of this behavior is familial, which means a familial bond is a strong connection between family members. It came from a Latin root familia, meaning family. This word describes events, relationship, or all other things having to do with family. So you chooses first your family, just like the saying, blood is thicker than water. That would be all to my work. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.